That's the 90-day fiance and the 90-day fiance before the 90 days. Now, before I get started, let me just remind anyone who have not subscribed to my channel, you can do that now and click the notification bell. Okay. So listen, guys, I hardly ever talk about this. However, I find myself searching for it, especially when I got bored because of what's going on right now in the world. But for those who have never watched this, basically, people, okay, couples meet on a dating site, and sometimes it's a dating site that offer people from other countries, other parts of the world to connect together, to hook up. Now, it's usually someone who wants to come to the United States. Now, the hookup after talking, sometimes talking online for years to meet that someone. And that's what this series is all about. Meeting that person to see if they mesh, and the one of them will relocate. Now, one of them will have to relocate if they want to continue the relationship. But first they go visit that person and decide what they want to do afterwards. Now, today I just want to address Ed Brown, or better known as Big Ed, although he stands about 4'11", which he lied to Rose Marie Vega, telling her he was 5'2", like she was. So Ed, okay, I'm not being judgmental, I'm just stating what was said. Ed has not been with a woman in about 20 years or more, 20 years plus, if I'm not mistaken. He has one adult daughter, which is older than Rosemarie. I think about 6-7 years older than Rosemarie. And Rosemarie is 23 or 24. And she has a son, which is 4 years old. His name is Prince. Okay, so Ed, he had been sending her stuff, and I found out later he has been sending her some money. And Ed is from, let me just say this, he is from San Diego, California. And so he goes to the Philippines to see Rose. Now, to me, it is so apparent that Ed knows nothing about women and how to relate to them. When meeting Rose and taking her out to dinner, he asked her to take an STD test. She got so offended and says he does not respect her as a girlfriend. And in essence, he's telling her she's not clean. That's the way she feels about it. Now, when she forgives him after she ghosts him for a while, they go back to his hotel room. He gives her a robe and tells her to take a shower. Now, my thing is, did he touch any water? Because it looks to me, he had been out all day. They had been to a restaurant. I didn't see him take a shower, but he gives her a robe and tells her to hit the water. Okay. Now, and he makes sure that she's clean. But is he? Oh. I did. Referring back to the STD test, he didn't want to take one in the Philippines, and he said that in the confessional that he didn't trust taking a test there. Oh, but she could take a test there. I get it. I get it, Ed. And that he would take one when he got to the United States. I find that Ed is very controlling, very judgmental. He should know better and do better because he's been bullied in the past. He can dish it out, but he can't take it. Okay. Now, let's get back to Rose and him in the hotel room. Okay, now, while Rose is taking a shower, Ed orders some champagne. He knocks on the door. And it looks to me like he opens it before she even comes in. Now, how do he know that she was dressed, or did he want a sneak a peek? Now, he leads Rose to the bed and gives her a glass of champagne and opens up her robe. like open up your, take your robe off. And he just, oh, wow, I like what I see, in other words. And he said he will give her the best foot massage. Her leg, foot, let me put it this way. He want to massage her foot. And he says it's the best foot massage that she would ever have. Then he asked her, guys, to shave her legs because her legs look like his, hairy. She tells him, shave your beard and I'll shave my legs. Go on, Rose, tell him. Because he looking like Wolfman, but, he want her legs to be smooth. Okay. Now, we all know what Ed is leading up to. He wants to get her liquored up and relax so she can do the do, knock the boots, get it on, whatever. Well, I guess it worked. Because the next day, he said in the confessional that they made love and he was looking forward to happening again. Do you have to get somebody liquored up, Ed, in order for them to have sex with you? Come on now. Because at the same time, the producers asked Rose, did they have sex that night? And she said that they said good night and went to sleep. And then she kind of laughed again. To me, that's a giveaway. Yeah, they had sex. Okay, now, that day, they go together to Rose's house where she lives with her sister. Her sister has a store, and they live behind the store. So Ed is kind of apprehensive to meet Rose's sister. He can't even look her in the eye because before he came to the Philippines, the sister asked him for money via email. And he didn't know whether Rose was in on it or not. Okay, now I'm going to say something, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything. And the fact that he's 54 and Rose is 23, 24, the fact that he even admit that he's not satisfied with his looks, and that's him, he admitted to this. And Ed, that is why you were sending her gifts and money. Because, guys, take this under consideration. I'll say man or woman that start out giving you money and gifts, they're not confident. So in essence, they want to buy your love. But see, that's a dangerous kind of thing because in buying your love, you got to keep on. You got to keep on. You can't buy their love, and when you think you got it, when you think you in safe territory, then now you're going to cut everything off. No, you was giving her money in the get-go. You were sending her gifts in the get-go, at the get-go, around the get-go. You know how the saying goes. But anyway, you was doing that before, so baby, you have to continue. Okay. There, before they get to her neighborhood, he asks Rose if she has air conditioning. She tells him, well, she has fan, because if you seen the episode, they were walking down where vendors was out selling things, and he was sweating like a pig. He was saying like it was 100 degrees. So you guys know he cannot stand the heat. Okay, so let me get back to the dinner. Okay, they have a dinner, and it looked like they threw the dinner for Ed. And the father comes in a little late. And let me get back to this. Let me just say this real quick. When they get out of the cab and Rose see her son, and her son runs to her and everything, and he turns to Ed and calls him daddy and hugs, and that freaks Ed out. But you could tell that Ed wants to go along with it because he wants the son to like him. When your kid loves someone, that seems to open up things for yourself, especially if your child is a minor. Okay, back to the air condition. She says she has a fan. And so we know that, like I said, we know that Ed got to have air conditioning, got to have it. So when he gets out of the cab and after he meets, he notices his surroundings, that, Rose is in a poverty-stricken part of Philippines. And by his expression, to me, he just, okay, guys, if you've ever traveled and you go to out there where the people are, you're going to see the good neighborhoods, but you're going to see the poverty-stricken neighborhoods too. So he looks around and he just seems so judgmental about where she lives. He's not satisfied. He's pointing out this. Now, why are you pointing it out to Rose? She know where she come from. I have never heard her try to seeing where she came from or try to glorify where she came from. In fact, I don't even see a part, and this might have been off camera, where she even described where she lived, unless I missed that part of it. But then he admits to her that he's scared. Okay, he's pointing out they don't have a front door that is covers of CD covers hung in like the doorway, and that's their front door. There's no windows, and there's a chicken in the house. He's sitting up, the family and him and the father sitting across from him, and he points out, is that a chicken? You know that's a chicken. When we saw it, we know that's a chicken egg. And then he act like he don't want to eat the food. He asks for, do you have anything to drink? When he gets his food, he feeding his food to the chicken. Okay. To me, that's being judgmental. Okay, he's a photographer. He lives in San Diego. He's a photographer. He makes good money. And by the gifts and by the money he's spending, it look like Ed's doing all right. But don't judge what she has or what she have not, because for them to surprise them with a dinner, they earned their hard-earned money. They use their hard-earned money to provide the meal, and he looked like he don't want to eat it. He just fed the chicken. And then he asks Rose's father, does he mind that Rose date him because he's a year older than him? And then he laughs, and then Rose kind of laughed, nervous laugh. The father looked at him. He wasn't impressed. He wasn't impressed with Rose's choice of men. And I don't know whether the explanation maybe or the translation got lost, but he wasn't having it. Now, are they still together? I don't have any idea. Now, one source says that they're together and that they're very happy. And in fact, I think it was him that said they're very happy and that he bought a bigger house. Some say the bigger house he bought was because his mother moved in with him. Another source says that Rose is with a woman. And another source that she's with a guy by the same name. Let me try to pronounce this. Ihe. Whether it's a man or woman, the name is Ihe. Now, when I thought about that, how she says she wants to marry him previously, and that he says she's his queen and she says he's her king. Are they getting paid? Now, it was reported they get $1,000 to $1,500 an episode, and can be paid close to $15,000 for a 12-episode season. So that may be, she knows that she wants a better life. So that money could help all parties involved. I think the only one that really doesn't need it is Ed. Listen, I don't think Ed is a bad guy. But he's very judgmental about others. I think he tries to call other shortcoming out when he has a crap load of shortcomings himself. He would be offended if someone called him out the way he calls other people out, the way he calls other people's looks out, with the hairy legs and the STD tests and chickens in the living room and CD covers on the door and curtains to make it, just everything that he's just judging. But he would be very offended if someone judged him in the manner he's judging. Like I said, I don't know whether Ed and Rose are still together, whether they're engaged or what. I guess we're going to have to watch the episodes to get more information. All I know is Ed is a trip, and I personally wouldn't put up with his controlling ways. Bottom line, Ed doesn't know how to love. Do I think Rose would marry him to improve her way of life? Yeah, I do. However, I do think that she would be nice to him. Now, on the other hand, Ed would lose his temper because he wasn't even in Philippines, I don't think, a full 24 hours before he snapped at Rose because he was hot and he wanted to leave. And he got mad. Well, okay, this part, guys, I think I would have got offended too if I was Ed. He's buying certain things, and he asked the vendor, how much it is. And Rose, he takes out his wallet and opens it, and Rose just helps herself to the money and then tell the vendor, keep the change. He said, keep the change. And it didn't amount, oh gosh, it didn't amount to much, just like if we was to buy something, just an example, if we were to buy something and it was $9.95 and we give them a 10, nobody got change or whatever, and we tell them to keep the change. I think that's what it equate to. But Rose, I know you want a better life. I know you want to come to America. And a lot of spots, San Diego is beautiful. You're right there by the ocean. Beautiful. But is it worth it, girlfriend? I say, heck to the no, no. It is not worth it because this man is going to rule over you. He is going to rule over you because that is what he's doing now. And he think because he gives you this, that, and the other, that he can control you. That's exactly is what's happening. And although he sent a lot of things, he says equates to about $5,000 before he even left the United States to Philippines. And because of the remote town that she lives in, she may not even have gotten the things yet. It is not worth it. He thinks, and let me tell you this. When I know someone that a guy gives her this, that, the other, money, take her out to dinner, just showers her with flowers, candy, whatever. But that is his way of keeping her in check, controlling the relationship. That is his way. You gonna do what I say. And I think if Rose moves to San Diego, if they are together, which I don't know if they are together, he's not going to hand her a lot of money to do this, that, and the other. He's going to buy what he thinks that she needs. In no way is she going to have, in my opinion, any control of any money that he has. Do you think he gonna give her a debit card off of their account? Ooh, that would surprise the heck out of me. No, he's not gonna do that. She's not gonna have control of any other finances. Like I said, he gonna buy what he thinks she needs or she wants, whether she needed or wanted. The Napoleon, the Napoleon complex is real. And he has it up, down, and sideways. Like I said, he wants to control everything. He wants to control the hair on her legs. And he wants to make sure she's not a nasty girl. Well, nobody wants to marry a nasty girl or guy. But to come right out and say, you know what, you're gonna take a STD test? Oh no, unless you come out and say, you know what, we live in different parts of the world. We have no clue about each other's past or whatever. Not really. Let's both take one. So both of us would have peace of mind. I think that would have been a better way to come out with it. But he says he haven't had sex in over 20 years. And I believe that, but basically, how do we know for sure? He could be lying. He could be lying. But he says that he took a test when he came back to the United States and he's clean. I believe it. I believe it because you have to have, well, I won't go into that. I won't go into that because there are extenuating circumstances, but so I won't go to what I was getting ready to say. So, guys, it's so much I can say about this, but you know what? This couple was very interesting. And like I said, if he just was so judgmental of where she lives. At least the sister got a business. I don't know how it's thriving because she asked Ed for some money. But at least she's trying to do something. They just not sitting on their butt now and letting circumstances be the circumstances. But Rose is very, nah. When he asked her certain questions, is not, oh, you should have seen her expressions about the STD and about, she throw it back to him, okay? You shave your beard. I shave my legs because your beard hurt me. Ouch. And the facial expressions that she have is like priceless. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it right there. The episodes are of 90 Day Fiance and 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. That can be seen on TLC. And those of you that don't have TLC, I think you can go on the TLC YouTube channel. I think they will. I don't know whether it's the whole episodes. I didn't research that, but you can get little clips if it's not of the different ones that's on that series. Go check out Ed and Rose. The Rose she cracked me up with them expressions. You know how she turned her nose and her mouth out like, It is priceless. So, like I said, I'll leave you there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me. Thank all my subscribers and viewers. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Good night. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Listen, guys, before I get started with this really short story, let me just remind everyone, if you have not subscribed to my channel, you can do that now and click the notification bell. Now, the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, the person that Kanye nicknamed his mother-in-law, Anyway, he put an order out last month that all the people that have pet dogs have to turn them in. Now he's coming up with this bogus kind of story that it's like a westernized thing, and that only the wealthy would have pet dogs, because some people have pet pigs and pet this and that, but the wealthy have them. So I guess, you know, he's trying to act like he's trying to take care of the lower class, I suppose. But see, they not, the people of North Korea, they're not going for it. They know them dogs are going to be on somebody's dinner plate, because they were saying that there's a shortage of food over there. So they are afraid that it will be on the dogs will be somebody's dinner. um, you know, that's North Korea. But here in the States, we don't eat our pets, okay? Okay, Mr. An Jung Kim Un, whomever. No disrespect. But yeah, we don't eat that dogs. But you know, if you want to eat a dog, then have at it. But we don't do that. Anyway, you know, different strokes for different folks, but I'm not into it. In fact, I love animals. I love dogs. And the animals that I do eat, when I have a steak or whatever, if I was to see that cow, I couldn't eat it. In fact, I'm cutting down on it because I would very much like to be vegetarian. It's hard, but I would very much like to be vegetarian. But I'm telling you, if that's all I had to eat is somebody's pet dog, I would be a vegetarian sooner than I planned. But I just wanted to bring you that story, that bogus excuse. He know he they're gonna do like they do with chicken factories. It's gonna be a factory of dogs. That is just a horrible thought, guys. I'm done. I'm done. Have a great evening. Thank you for joining me, and have a good night. Hello, guys. Thank you for joining me. This is Marilyn Gale. What you're looking at is a testimony of Koa Jerome. He is a songwriter and producer. He has written songs and produced songs for The Dream, French Montana, Melody, Fiona, and many more. This is his testimony of incident that happened to him. You guys, believe it or not, Satan approaches people who want riches and fame. And if you sign over, you know, you get those riches and fame, you're going to have to live up to what the price that you have to pay for that, if it's of the enemy, which is Satan. So I'm going to leave the link of the full testimony of course Jerome. I'm going to just show you a few clips of the testimony, and go and listen to it, guys. He's very interesting, and I believe him. Now others may not, but I believe him.
So I was just, I was at a tough place. And so with this happening, I got really depressed, and I had neighbors below me that was really into drugs. Now, before I get in this part of the story, this is where it gets crazy. I told you guys I've had many of experiences where I had experiences with angels, demons, Christ, on a spiritual level, where I saw things that most people don't see. I never did drugs in my life. So back to where I'm at now, I have this night where I call the guys up who live below me. They come up and they bring edibles and weed and different things and drinks, and we were just chilling, and we had a little kickback at my house. My wife wasn't really feeling them, so she kind of stepped back and she just let me kind of vent. And we were talking about God the whole time we were smoking weed and eating edibles and drinking. We were talking about Christ the whole time, which is crazy, right? So when this happened, I finally, with the way God was working on me, it was getting crazy for me. So this thing happens when I have an experience with God. I see a calendar, right? This calendar starts spinning. The room starts spinning, and everything is very, very heavy. When you're in like the spiritual realm, everything is like tight, and it's a weird feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but everything was heavy. And usually I sleep in my boxers. I'm not trying to get y'all no visual, but I sleep in my boxers. Before I went to bed this time, I was freezing cold. So I kept on a sweatsuit like I have now, except it was a hoodie. And I went to bed, and as I had socks on, I hate sleeping with stuff on, but I had socks on, everything. I was just, really cold. And when I laid down, this is what y'all gotta know about drugs. People can say whatever they want. People can say, you're on drugs all you want, but people don't know drugs are a portal to another realm. Because I'm spiritually inclined and I know what goes on there in that realm, because of all the experiences I've had with God, I know what drugs are. Oh, something's coming, and I don't know what it is. I don't know where it's coming from, but I know something's coming for me. And then I hear Satan's voice go, he's mine now. And at this moment, I'm like, get out the room, get out the room. And I yell, get out. And she leaves the room. And my brother, she goes, I tell her, go get my brother. My brother comes in the room because I know he's seen me, go through spiritual things before. So he starts praying and saying, the blood of Jesus, the blood of Jesus. I'm kind of in and out, kind of back into the room, and then I'm going to a different place. I don't know where I'm headed to. And then I hear Christ say, no. Christ pretty much tells the devil he's not yours. So people are around watching this occur. So at this point, my brother's in a room, and I'm in a different place. I'm in and out. I'm back and forth to the room, and I'm back to this very, very, very dark place. And I can see pins and needles. And I can feel the pins and needles going into my skin. Every single part of my body, I felt it. I felt myself in this tight, crazy, cloudy room, and I was stuck. I was stuck on my knees. And when I was on this room, I saw God at the throne. I saw Jesus right here on the side of me. And then every demon that had ever manifested at some point in my life, somehow, was behind me. I was at some sort of judgment day. And God had told me, if you don't confess all your sins and everything that you've done tonight, you're going to die. You're going to jump over the balcony and you're going to kill yourself, because the devil's going to make you do it. And so I'm laying in bed and my brother's holding me down, because I'm saying, like, yo, stop. I'm coming in and out. I'm like, bro, like, I'm not controlling my body. I don't know what's happening. I'll never kill myself is what I'm telling my brother. I have no reason to. I'm not trying to kill myself, but I can't control my body right now.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. So before I get started, let me just remind everyone to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Now, let me get on with this article. It's about 50 cents. Guys, have he lost his mind or what? He reposted a side-by-side picture of Notori next to Goro from Mortal Kombat. Now, the article says reposted, so that means he had previously posted this before. He was making fun of Notori's appearance, and it wasn't the first time he's done it. Now, the post was not kindly received, and the rapper quickly deactivated his Instagram. His account is still down. Now, Notori did not take kindly to the post and wrote, "There's so much I want to say, but you don't even have an Instagram account, so," and then she put emojis of question marks. "Why waste my character or come out of my character? But do pick up a copy of my upcoming book. Hashtag what not to do when you're a boss. Hashtag I'm not a character. Hashtag I am a real person. Hashtag I am a woman. Hashtag I am a black woman. Now, 50 Cent had retweeted, had put the tweet out before, and he had apologized to Notori for making this the same joke days prior. He originally apologized for the post, and his co-star told Page Six that she forgave him for the first tweet. She said he knew that what he did was shady and he apologized for it. He realized it was not the nicest thing to do. I accepted his apology. I moved on. He's an EP on Power. I am the star on the show. I cannot be worried about something like this. He believes in the work I do on Power, so it was only a matter of making sure that that comes across. I think that he'll get it. We're cool. I will see him at work within a couple of days, and I don't hold grudges. It's water under the bridge. Now, this is what she said on the first post. Now, the fans came to her support, and one person wrote, I'm sorry you had to go through this. Joke or not, once you know someone is offended by something, you shouldn't keep going on with it. Another person said, well, 50 Cent's been doing things like this to his own close friends. Don't think it's personal. He's joking. But guys, after you know, like the first commenter says, after you know that this person is offended, you don't keep on with the joke. Not anyone who has common sense. Someone even argued, did you really expect respect and friendship from a man who has made it clear he doesn't like dark-skinned black women? You are beautiful. Ignore him and just get your checks. Stop thinking black men have your back. Now, when he did this the second time, the actress who plays Tasha on the Power show, she said she was confused. Had they had an argument or a fight that she didn't know about? Now, let me tell you what my favorite comment was that someone wrote to the actress. One fan wrote, who needs enemies with a boss like this? While another said, imagine if you paid this much attention to your firstborn, talking about 50 cents, if you paid this much attention to your firstborn as you did bullying your client. See, now we remember when it was his oldest son's birthday. And instead of congratulating him for any accomplishments that his son made, instead of saying you're a fine young man and you have a lot in you, so go for it. I know you're going to excel. Instead of just building his son up, he was so worried about child support. Like, wow, I won't have to pay child support anymore. And that fueled the feud that him and Wendy Williams had, because she lit into it for that. And you know what? Like I always say, that I let people know I am not a fan of Wendy Williams, but she tore into him. And the things that she said, whether they her business or not, she was right. She was right on that one, the way she blasted him in front of the world. And that made his son feel very bad, because his son came behind and said some other things and let us know that, 50 Cent had never been a father to him, not a real father, that he sort of kind of forgot about him when he had his new family. So guys, this Why my question is, and Nia E, NIA-E, Nia E has said something on one of her videos that is so true. Why is it that when some men have a problem with a woman, the first thing he does is attack her appearance, attack the way she looks, attack her weight, attack the color of her skin? But the problem is, Notori did not know they had a problem. And these attacks are coming out of nowhere. She didn't even know anything was wrong. And another thing, guys, I'm going to put another link because the first link didn't show those images, and I didn't want to put the image of her and what he, Mortal Kombat character. I didn't want to put that up, so I just put the picture up you're seeing now. Look at that picture from Mortal Kombat, and then look at 50 Cent. They look more alike. He's making fun of Notori. He's making fun of her, the way her hair was, trying to insinuate she doesn't have any edges. So we knew what he was talking about. And so what? So what? She's a beautiful young lady. So what? Is that the end of the world? But look at that picture. The picture he put up making fun of her, they look alike. Him and the Mortal Kombat character, they look alike. I don't understand what mirror he's looking in. And I know, guys, I don't want to attack him, but because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But basically, 50 Cent, in my opinion, the reason women go after you like they going after you got money, you got status, you're the executive producer of a show, Power. You was a famous rapper, a good rapper, not to take anything from you, a good rapper. But that just slayed me, the way these guys get some money and position, and and like my mother used to say, and looking like who done it and what for, and got the nerve to talk about somebody else. Okay, we all have flaws. We all have flaws. Why did he have to go after her like that? That just shows his character or lack of. But I wanted to bring this to you guys, not because he just threw her under the bus and just made fun of her, but just to see what kind of person that he is to attack this woman. Nothing's going on. No cross words were crossed. No words were bad words were crossed between the two. They didn't have bad blood. The way she tells it, she didn't know where this was coming from. So he just think he's funny, or is there self-hatred in himself? And so in order to make himself, you guys know what I'm getting ready to say, in order to make himself look good, he got to down somebody else, and he got to down a woman. And he always want to down somebody he think he's stronger than or weaker, and the other party is weaker. I know him and what's the boxer's name? Oh gosh. I was almost ready to say Sugar Ray Leonard, but that's, but you know what boxer I'm talking about, the one that's champ right now. But anyway, he got to messing with him. Oh, I don't care how much bigger he is than this boxer. This boxer got I'll think of the name in a little bit. You guys tell me in the comments. Mayweather. There he is. Floyd Mayweather. He was trying to, punk him out like he can say what he wanted to say and talk about, try to make him feel bad and and I know they went back and forth. They both had things to say, but you needn't think you can whip Floyd Mayweather behind 50 cents. You can't do it. He's got technique, he got style. He can probably fight street and professional, so don't get it twisted. But not even 50 cents. A lot of guys do that. A lot of guys are doing that here on YouTube. They don't like the way a woman roll. They don't like the way the lifestyle, and they might be right on some level, but then they start putting them down, talking about their body, talking about the hair, talking about just it goes uncivilized. Like you're gonna attack. You don't like the way she living, so you're gonna attack her looks. And Nia E said it so perfect. She said, when women have when women have children, their body changes. Their body changes. And a lot of things aren't corrected. A lot of things exercise won't undo. And some women have found themselves just, getting plastic surgery. All because someone is body shaming them. A lot of women are being body shamed, so they try to correct that with whatever the flaw. So whatever someone is shaming them for, they try to correct that with plastic surgery. It's just a lot of things, and these are entertainers, and a lot of times the entertainers, to me, they pick feuds among themselves, I think, to be talked about and stay relevant and stay in on TV and in the news. I don't think this is the case, guys. I don't think he might be doing it, but I don't think Notori is about that. I think that she was just confused on, what did I do to you? So anyway, 50 cents is just, he ain't worth a dime to me. I'm just saying. So I'm going to end this because I don't want to, I don't want to be like him and start throwing names out. But look at the second link. Get in that link and you tell me in the comments. He's trying to drag Notori, and he's the one that looked like the character. Just go. It's like, I don't understand it, guys. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. So thank you guys for listening to my halfway rant. I just see that, this is not just happening to entertainers. That it's happening on YouTube, and it happens to married couples. It happens to people who are dating. That you get mad at somebody, and the first thing you want to do is start talking about their appearance. But the people who do that, I'm wondering if they got mirrors in their house. Anyway, I won't go into that. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I'll be back with another article or cooking or something. Maybe I'll go to Universal Studios and bring that on. Those of you who have not been there, you got to go. But anyway, thank you guys. Have a great weekend. I appreciate all the subscribers. I know I'm going to do a video of the giveaway, so make sure that you listen for that, because I am going to pick the winner out of the comments. I'm going to pick the winner out of the comments, but I want on this video, I want you to put hashtag gift card and the gift card, because I have two gifts. I'm not going to say it on this one, but the first gift, put the restaurant down that you want a gift card to. And make sure it's something that's, nationwide, a restaurant or a gift card. If you want Lowe's or Home Depot gift card, put that down. Whatever kind of gift card you want, put that down. And listen for your name to be called once I do that video, and then the next video I'll combine it with something else and we'll tell you who the winner is. It'll be another subject, but I'll tell you who the winner. Oh, and let me just remind you, you have to live in the United States, because shipping to other countries, it get kind of sticky sometimes, and it's just a lot of rules and a lot of headaches. And if I was a big company, then that would be different, but it's just little old me. So I'm just going to stick to the United States. Okay, sorry about that. Maybe we can work out something for the other countries, but I have to check with the postal service and some things, customs, it gets really hairy after a while. So this will be just for the US, the states. Okay. And thank you guys again for joining me, and have a wonderful weekend. Good night. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. You guys have probably seen this story, but I'm going to bring it to you my way and in my fashion. Now, there's a woman caught on camera inside the Bronx Zoo's lion enclosure, and she has been identified as a Brooklyn resident whose friend says she has gone off the rails in the past year. The brazen daredevil, identified by sources as Maya Autry, 32 years old, she posted videos of her walk on the wild side to Instagram on Saturday. I really have not fear of nothing breathing, she wrote in one of her captions. Animals can feel love just like humans. Maul me, maybe? Woman walks into den, taunts lion at the Bronx Zoo. In another video where she can be seen standing in the giraffe enclosure, and she writes, I literally have the same diet as a giraffe. Police are now hunting for the woman to slap her with a trespassing citation. But Autry on Wednesday flaunted her stunt with new pictures on Instagram, including one of slain rapper Tupac Shakur and a lion, and a painting of the biblical Queen of Sheba flanked by two lions. Something snapped somewhere, former housemate Eunice Walton, 63 years old, told the Post. When I saw the video of the woman walking towards the lion, I said, why do people do this? People are crazy. And then Wednesday morning, I found out it was her. And I was like, what? Maya? Autry had been living with Walter and her daughter on Pacific Street in Brooklyn, but lost touch in recent months. Now, Walton's daughter, Akeisha Wallace, 31, said she and Autry grew up like sisters, but the two grew apart over the past year. I didn't think it had gone that far, she said of the zoo videos. I want her to get help. I need her to get help because I'm scared for her. Autry has been busted for trespassing before in West Burlington, Iowa, where police said she got rowdy at a Trailways bus depot in January. She was arrested January 10th and ended up spending more than 2 weeks in jail before being cut loose. We get it all through here West Burlington Police Chief Jesse Logan told the Post, noting news of the Woman Bronx Zoo exploits had definitely reached the population 2,968 people in the town. She just became uncooperative with the manager. She just refused to cooperate with us, so she just got arrested. Guys, I wanted to get a picture of both her and the lion. I could only find her, a picture of her, but if you click on the link, and I'll put it in the description area, there's a clip of that actual encounter. Now, when you see this, pay attention, close attention to the expression on that lion's face. It was like, say what? A lion could look bewildered? I've never seen a look of bewildered on a lion's face. But if I was to, if at all there was such a look, that lion had that look. It's kind of funny, but not really. She could have been seriously hurt or killed, and then the lion would be euthanized for what? For someone thinking they could just go into a wild animal's cage and nothing would happen. So they would, they would put the lion down, and that in itself would anger me. I'm not really saying her life is not important, but it could be avoided. This kind of incident, just don't go into the lion's den is what I'm trying to say. And why would you euthanize a wild animal for doing what a wild animal does? Attack and kill in most cases. We all know that this woman has to have a mental illness, and that's my opinion. But even having a mental illness, many people that have an illness would not go into a lion's den. I mean, this woman had no fear of this lion. You could tell by the expression on her face, and her body language, she had no fear. She even danced for the lion, doing a little shimmy for him. And the lion just looked at her like, you gotta be kidding me. I must be getting punked. What's his name, guy? The one that, Ashton Kirchner, I think that's his name is, Kirchner. Like, where's he at? The lion took a few steps towards her, and she didn't waver. She didn't budge. She didn't run. She didn't act scared. There was no fear from this woman. Maybe that's why the lion didn't attack her, because he sensed no fear. Or maybe the lion just ate and he wasn't hungry and was in no mood for a snack, watching his weight or something. I don't know. I even thought the lion might have thought she was a lion, a male lion, because she was wearing braids, and maybe the lion thought the braids was a mane. Who knows what goes through a lion's mind? But this woman is so blessed to be alive, not lucky, but blessed. God protected her, and I truly believe that. Y'all, do you remember the story of Daniel in the lion's den? Daniel was protected, so this is not the first time divine intervention happened, and it won't be the last. But guys, do not test it. Do not walk into any wild animal's den when you go to the zoo. Let me just tell you a quick story. I was fortunate enough to go on a safari in Africa, an actual safari, but we didn't go to kill animals or nothing. It was just to take pictures. So I guess it would be a photogenic safari. And I was in the middle of nowhere in the part where they, kept all where the animals to run free for miles and miles and miles. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I had to pee. And like an idiot, I'm telling the driver of the van, because we was in one of those vans where you kind of, the top was open, you can do the handle around to close and open it. So, well, I'll tell the other story at a later date, but I had to go to the bathroom. Okay. I had no choice but to go behind a bush, like you did back in the day when you went fishing. Maybe some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but back in the day, I had no choice. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. So I went, accompanied by the driver of the van, and at the time, my husband. And I had to go so bad, I didn't feel no shame. I just told them to turn their back. But guys, a lion could have came out of nowhere and ate all of us up. But I had to go to the bathroom. So I'm thinking, okay, I had to go to the bathroom. I'm risking my life to go to the restroom instead of being embarrassed and maybe do on myself. Which, now that I think of it, I could have just endured the embarrassment. I look at that and say how blessed I was. So guys, they turned, the guy that was driving us, the tour guide, he turned his back, and my ex was on the lookout for the wild animals. And I successfully, did what I had to do and got back. So, I didn't purposely, and I didn't want to do that. I was scared, but I was about to pop. So I went. And this was many years ago. So the maturity factor has wavered. We could have took a container and I could have went to the back of the van and did the do. But that's another story. But anyway, let me get back to the story. Again, I am not making fun of this story. However, it does have a funny aspect to it. I can see a movie being made for this incident, and they building a whole story behind it, probably mostly fiction mixed with a little bit of fact. And the person that I would pick to play the woman would be Tiffany Haddish. Now, people don't think Tiffany's funny, but she got personality. I'm going to leave the link so you guys could see the clip of this woman dancing for the lion. And look at the woman and tell me, wouldn't Tiffany Haddish make a good replica of this woman? Tiffany Haddish would be a good casting character and would be spot on for playing that part. The story would include her life before Dancing with the Lions and after the Lions. Maybe in a story they'll put a little twist in and they'll put a little bit more humor in it. But it's really, to be honest, it's really not a funny story. But since the lady is good, we can find a little humor in it. But who's to say she won't try that again? Well, I hope they're watching at the zoos for Miss Autry, because she says animals can feel love. And I guess she's trying to tell everybody she has love for all creatures on this earth, but she better be careful, because just like humans can reject love. So, and hurt you. So, I'm going to end this here. I just had to bring this to you my way, because I know you guys have probably heard about this story. But I just pray that she does not pull this stunt again, because the next time it may not turn out the way it did this time, where she's safe, at least from the lions for now. Thank you for joining me, guys. If you have not subscribed, please do so and hit that notification bell. And if you like this story, please hit the like button. So thank you. And I will see you again. Have a good evening. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Listen, you guys, I have a story about Aretha Franklin and her estate. And if you remember, there was articles previously saying that people were stealing her money, someone was stealing her money. And this may be the reason why she did things the way she did them. I'm not sure, and I'll get to that a little later. I'm not sure. I have a couple of theories on this particular article, so let me just start it. Aretha Franklin had almost $1 million in uncashed checks in her possession at her time of death, according to newly filed court papers. The checks were discovered during an inventory of Franklin's possessions, adding a new twist to the battle over the Queen of Soul's estate. An inventory following her death found that Franklin had a check for $702 and $702,000, $711.90. Let me say that again. $702,711.90 from Sound Exchange and Screenwriters Guild, as well as uncashed checks to her publishing company, Springtime Publishing, from EMI, BMI, Carlin Music, and Feel Good Films in the amount of $285,944.27, totaling $988,656.17. Guys, that's a lot of uncashed money. I mean, send me a check for $5. I'm going straight to the bank with that. Okay. Franklin, as you remember, she died August 16, 2018 at the age of 76. She left behind 4 sons, Clarence, Edward, Teddy, and Keycaf. Originally, no will was found. Under the Michigan law, her estate was set to be divided equally between her children. But 9 months after her death, 3 handwritten wills, 2 from 2010 and 1 from 2014, was found in her house. Now, the discovery of those wills, if they're valid, would change the distribution of Franklin's assets. Each of the brothers have retained their own legal teams. The authenticity of the found documents is under review by a handwriting expert. They want to make sure that someone did not plant those handwritten wills. That's my guesstimation. And there's no funny business behind it. So a handwriting expert was called in to review. Now, so far, the hefty uncashed checks have caused less commotion. Attorneys for Franklin's son, Keycaf, tracked down one of the banks that issued checks to Aretha, and according to court papers, there were instances where checks have been uncashed since 2012 and had to be reissued in 2016. Now, while Ken Keycaf and the other brothers agreed to the appointment of his cousin, Sabrina Owens, as the personal representative of the estate, he has since expressed displeasure with her work. It is totally unacceptable that it has taken a year for the heirs to begin to find out what their mother owed on the date of her death. Keycaf's attorney, Charlene Glover Hogan, and Juanita Gavin Hughes wrote in a recent court motion. To date, the heirs still do not know what was owed on Aretha Franklin's date of death. Now, his attorneys also said that Owens did not distribute an inventory of Aretha's estates to the 4 heirs until 6 months after it was due by law. Court papers said that the inventory she eventually compiled was missing large components, including bank statements, tax bills, appraisals for the value of her home, and blue book values of her cars. His legal team, that's KeyCAF, his legal team is demanding that the court either order Franklin's personal attorney, David Bennett, to produce these documents or impose sanctions on Bennett and Owens for failing to supply them. The only intent of KeyCAF Franklin is to obtain an accurate description of items owned by his mother at the time of her death, according to the recent court filing. Now, like I mentioned previously, there were articles that someone was stealing from her. Maybe, and this is just a theory, maybe she has been suspecting things like this for a while. Hid those checks and might have forgot where she hid them. Oh, how many of you have done that? Let me tell you, one time I hid some money. This a while back. So people had know me, don't be lifting up my carpet trying to find no money. But years ago, I put about 200 and something, I would say close to 250 or a little more dollars in my closet, lift the rug up and put it under there and forgot I put it under there till one day I was in that closet and I saw the rug kind of lifted up. I said, So I lifted that part of the carpet up in my closet and there was the money. I had forgotten all about that money. And it wasn't, I didn't put it there thinking someone was taking my money or anything. I just put it there so I wouldn't spend it. That's my guesstimation. Guys, it just escaped me. I know it had to be months later. And I found that money and, don't you just love finding money? I know I do. I love finding money and I love receiving checks in the mail. Like I said, if you send me a $5 check, I'm putting it in the bank with a quickness. But let's get back to the story now. That's my first theory. And my second theory, that she suspected, she was going to put it in the bank. And like I said, I forgot money. And so she might have forgot. I mean, not forgot she had the money, but forgot where she hid it. And until people were going over, whoever her attorney is or whoever was going through her belongings after her death, found the check. So Miss Franklin might have just forgot where, didn't forget about the check, but forgot where she put it. My other theory is her not knowing that any people, was taken from her, like the article came out, and just all throughout the times, she just simply forgot with no motive of hiding it and going to deposit it, maybe to another bank, a bank that nobody knew she had in order to, keep it safe from other people. It is just a couple of theories I have. She forgot the checks and then she forgot the checks, hiding it from people who may have been taken from her for years. So other than that, I just can't think of anything else. If you guys could think of a reason why you would hide in $1 million checks and not even cash them, because checks have a life on them. You know what I mean? They expire. They have an expiration date. So if the expiration, date expires, you can't take those checks to the bank and just, the expiration date is over. So you have to have that check reissued from the people who wrote you the check. So that's, $1 million, guys. But Franklin wasn't a pauper. So, setting the check aside and not depositing it, and um maybe that's just the way she conducted her business, had a bunch of checks, wait till she got so many checks, and then would go cash them, and instead of running to the bank for this check and then this check and then that check, just wait till you get about, a few $1 million, and oh gosh, wouldn't you like to be in that position? Wait till you get a few $1 million before you go to the bank. Shoot, I'd be going to the bank and through the year 3000 waiting for me to get a few million. But no, I take that back. There's power in words. I take that back. I don't know what I'm going to replace it with, but I take that back. So anyway, guys, that's what I have for you today. I wanted to bring that out. Such a different story where, people just don't cash checks close to $1 million. Wow, what a problem to have. Anyway, guys, that's what I have for you about Aretha Franklin, and I hope everything is resolved. I hope they don't fight for years. The siblings. I hope how that goes. Where if someone has a will or don't have a will, but they have established great amounts of money, and then the family members are fighting over it. Take your portion and be satisfied with it. Just don't, because the attorney's going to eat up with all their fees. They're going to eat up a large portion of your inheritance. So what's the deal? I don't know. I never understood that. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. If you have not subscribed, please do so now and click that notification button. And I will be back with you with another story. Thank you again, all my new subscribers. Thank you for all the view times. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Have a good evening, guys. This is Friday. The weekend's coming up. Have a wonderful weekend. Do something fun. Do something fun, even if it's just going to the movies with it's a comedy I want to see with the three little boys, something lighthearted. I don't feel like seeing nothing serious. So anyway, guys, again, I'm going to end this video for real. Talk to you later. Good night. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is Marilyn Gale. Listen, Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Falchuk, I think that's the way you pronounce his name. They have been married for a year, and they're finally moving in together. Finally, after a year of marriage, Gwyneth and Brad are taking a big step forward that most modern American couples take long before their first wedding anniversary. Yep, the 46-year-old actress and her 46-year-old husband are cohabitating. Gwyneth revealed that married life has been really good, because she's not living together, girl. That's why it's been good. Okay, let me get back to the article. She says that they took a year to let everybody know in the family and for it to sink in, for the dust to settle. And now they're moving in together this month. Now, Gwen and Brad have 2 children each from previous relationships. And maybe trying to intermingle all that together, maybe that was their reasoning behind it. Now, I'm going to get my spin on it. I'm going to tell what I think about. Because some may find that this is a bit strange that 2 married people wait for a year to move in together. Now, actually, I like the idea. I like it a lot. I think marriages may last longer if you wait a while before moving in Or is it just me? You see, I like having my own space, my own bed, my own house by myself. Why can't he just stay in his own house and we visit each other? Think about how romantic that would be. We meet up somewhere and we act like we don't know each other. He sits at the bar and I sit at a little table in a quaint little restaurant. We make eye contact. He sends me a glass of Pinot Grigio. We look at each other acting like we don't know each other. He comes over to my table and asks if he could sit down. And I act shy and I say, okay. He notices the ring on my finger and asks if my husband would mind if he sit with me. I tell him no. He doesn't mind. He knows I'm faithful. Guys, let me stop this madness because I don't want no husband. I don't want nobody in my bed putting their crusty feet on me and that snoring. Man, lay on your stomach. Sawing them logs. In fact, go in the guest room because I got to get up early making all that noise. Close your mouth and stop breathing so hard. Get on my nerve. Get on my last nerve making all that noise. Roll over, man, before I make you sleep outside with all that noise. Guys, Gwen and Brad have the right idea. But my question is, why even move in together? It ain't broke, so don't fix it. I'm going because I know I done made some of y'all mad. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Just consider what I'm saying. Who says you have to live together? Who made that rule up just because you give it? Okay, you keep your house, I keep my house. And we'll visit each other. And then you go home. That works for me, guys. Now, like I said, I know I done made you guys mad. So, just subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I'll be back with some of my shenanigans. Because guys, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm kidding. Well, I'm kidding a little bit. Because actually, guys, it is a good idea. I just like my own space. Okay? So anyway, I'm gone now. Just think about it. Yeah, it'll last longer. It will. It'll last longer. So I'm going to talk to you guys later. I got plans for tonight. I'm going to see a comedian at one of the casino resorts and, not too far from me. So I got to pick out what I'm going to wear. See, I'm single, so I can do that. Anyway, I'm stop rubbing it in. Rubbing it in because marriage has a lot of benefits. It just don't benefit me. Talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to give you an account, something that's in Mel B's The Spice Girl, one of the Spice Girls. Mel B details her failed 2014 suicide attempt. And I will leave the description of this article. It's an article from the Wonderwall publication, wonderwall.com. In her upcoming book, Brutally Honest, Melanie Brown's opened up about some of her darkest days, including her 2014 suicide attempt and her cocaine use during her toxic marriage. In exclusive excerpts in Britain's The Sun newspaper, Spice Girl Mel B explains how she tried to kill herself in December 2014 by taking 200 aspirin. She was 39 at the time and in the bathroom of her rented house in London's Kensington neighborhood after having returned from dinner with her then husband Stefan Belafonte. That week, she was about to start taping the live semifinal show for her gig as a judge on Britain's The X Factor. She felt, she explains, like my life is a mess and I want out. Behind the glitter of fame, I felt emotionally battered, estranged from my family. The America's Got Talent judge marriage was in tatters. I felt ugly and detested by the very man who once promised to love and protect me. She writes, adding that Stefan had a library of sex tapes that could ruin my career and destroy my family. She counted as she started taking the aspirin. As each pill goes into my mouth, I ask myself, are you sure? And I would take one, 10, 20, 50, 100. Are you sure? She writes in that manner. In that moment, I'm sorry. She writes in that moment she was. Mel penned a note to eldest daughter Phoenix from her first marriage, asking her to get her younger girls, Angel with Eddie Murphy and Madison with Stefan, to their grandmother's house in Leeds, England. Mel took more aspirin, but when she got to 200, she realized she didn't want her life to end. As soon as I swallowed the last pill, I knew I didn't want to go anywhere. Suicide was not the answer. I had to make my life count. I had to get to the hospital. I had to get those pills out of my stomach before anything happened, she explained. She tried to get out of the bathroom, but the door was jammed. She flung her body against the door repeatedly, suffering bruises. She collapsed and remembered drifting in and out of consciousness before ending up in a hospital where doctors saved her. There she experienced the saddest moment of my life when she woke up and daughter Phoenix asked her over and over, why, Mom, why? Mel writes that she called colleague and boss Simon Cowell, who didn't sound horrified, just calm, like he knew that's what I needed from him. She remembers that all the Spice Girls reached out to her, as did her family, but she was too ashamed to speak to them. Even though she was in extensive care and serious damage to her liver, with serious damage to her liver and kidneys, she was hell bent on returning to the X Factor right away against doctors' wishes. She texted her stylist and chose a sleeveless dress for the next taping. I would stand proud in this stunning white dress, the marks of my agony all over me. I asked for my hair to be pulled back away from my face. I needed to be seen. I needed all those bruises to be seen. Mel writes, she also took off her wedding ring to send a message to Stefan, I'm sorry. There's no going back. I'm going to leave him, get a divorce. I'm going to be free. She did not, however, file for divorce until March 2017 after they had been married for 10 years. In her book, The Sun Reports, Mel also writes about how she was snorting 5 or 6 lines of cocaine a day while shooting the X Factor to help her cope with what she claims as an abusive marriage. I was a sad, pathetic person. I was out of control, she explains, sharing that she would snort 2 lines of coke as soon as she woke up to get herself motivated to face the day. Then pray, apologizing to God and begging to help to get through. It numbed my pain. It lifted me up enough to be ready to fire on all cylinders and forget about everything but the show. She also did it, she writes, to get me through living with Stefan, which felt like neurotic claustrophobia. On so many levels, I felt myself sinking. I had a routine. I was ashamed of what I was doing, but I felt I had to have it. So, wow. And reading that, how could someone be so desperate to do that when they're in a failed marriage? And instead of leaving, stay there and just take that abuse again and again. I know when the tabloids were bringing things out where, she was on drug use, and then later on her soon-to-be ex was saying that she was a drug addict and she did this and that. So I remember reading those things in articles in the newspaper and online. But to leave your children, I know a lot of people feel so desperate. They feel their self-esteem is shot. That man that you're with just shoots at you and digs in you and tears at your self-esteem. I can imagine some people, and I've heard of guys telling the woman, nobody wants you but me. Nobody's gonna want you, and that's why a lot of times the man go by the face, and it goes both ways. The woman, they batter men also, but to want to commit suicide, um, that's why there's a lot of shelters and facilities to help. Now, that may not have been an option for her. She was in England, so, but I'm sure over there they have shelters. I'm sure that they have resources, but sometimes when you're just so low, you don't even think about the resources. You just want out. And she says that in her book. She says she just wanted out. So I'm glad that even though when she took that last 200 aspirin, when she took the last one, she decided she wanted to live. I'm Now this is all in her book, and anything I say against him is alleged, because I don't know. Now Simon Cowell, he would remember if she called, so that would be receipts. If And then the Spice Girls would know of this incident, so it could easily be verified with them. If this was not any truth into it, it could be verified by Simon and the other Spice Girls who had her back behind this. But I just urge you women, if you're in a situation and that marriage is unbearable, or to the men, if you're in a situation that the marriage is unbearable, go somewhere that other person don't know, another relative, a hotel if you can, but to in your life, just think about how your children would feel. Just think about how your relatives, your mother, your dad, your siblings, think about the agony and the questions they would have for a lifetime, if you took your life. So this article I just felt was very important to bring out, very timely, because I have spoke on these subjects uh, a couple of times. I've spoke on this very subject, suicide. It's a hard subject. It's a difficult subject to know someone that's feeling like that, and it's a difficult subject, even just reading about it. So I am going to end this video, end this audio right here, and if you have not subscribed, please do so and click that notification bell and leave a comment if you'd like. And just think about this story. As I stated, I will leave a link in the description so you could read it again. And everyone, this is the Sunday night that I'm recording. So be careful the next week. I know this is a lot of people have taken next week off because of the Thanksgiving holidays. So everyone drive safe, be careful, and take care till next time. Thank you for tuning in. Good night. Thank you for joining me. I had a woosah moment from that last video. So I'm bringing you a story. The name of the article is A 1965 Novel about an unhinged president is being re-released. A couple of months ago, prominent political pundits began buzzing about a provocative book by a Washington journalist. The book which raised questions about what congressional leaders should do if the president was mentally unstable and unfit for office. Wasn't a new expose about the Trump administration. It was a 1965 political thriller by Fletcher Nebel. I think that's how you pronounce it. The novel, Night of Camp David, features an unhinged American president who falls prey to his own paranoia and conspiratory fantasies as people around him struggle to rein in his worst impulses. A critic called the book too plausible for comfort in a review published in the New York Times in 1965, the same year that Congress passed the 25th Amendment, which provides a mechanism for removing a president who is deemed unfit to serve. Now, more than 50 years after it was released, Night of Camp David is getting a new life. Later this month, Vintage Books of Penguin Random House. Okay, the article stopped. Just a second. Random House imprint is re-releasing the novel as a paperback, ebook, and audiobook. I want to read that because we know who we thinking about. The publisher isn't shying away from drawing parallels between the novel and our current overheated political climate, with a dramatic black cover flap that reprises the tagline in the original novel. What would happen if the president of the USA went stark raving mad? Now, there's more to this article, and as always, I'll leave the link in the description area. Who they talking about? First person who came to mind, well, they kind of mentioned that, you know, it reflects on our political climate, what's going on right now, the revamp of the book. But we knew before we even said that. When we said it was stark raving mad and all them other adjectives that went with it, that they were talking about Trump. Okay, so haven't he given signs that he's not dealing with a full deck? Isn't he? I mean, he's all up in the NFL. You got better things to do. We've been so close to nuclear war. I mean, in all the years that I've known different presidents, I believe this is the closest. And I believe in the article, it does mention North Korea in the book. And actually, let me read you this. Let me see if I can get down to this, because this is good. Okay, the character, the president in the book, is Democrat called Mark Hallenbach. He rants about his perceived political enemies and imaginary plots against him. He rails against the media and accuses a newspaper columnist of leading a conspiracy to discredit him. He tries to undo America's long-standing alliances with Western Europe and arranges a high-level conference with the Soviet premier that could damage our national security, according to the New York Times review. Bizarrely, there's even a Supreme Court justice in the novel whose last name is Kavanaugh. Potato head. His name is Kavanaugh with a C instead of a K. So I wanted to, okay, let me read this also. There have been some notable exceptions. The President is Missing, a novel about a fictional president that was written by Bill Clinton and James Patterson and have sold more than 1 million copies. But other works of political fiction have fallen flat, perhaps because the genre has limited appeal at a moment where the headlines are often more dramatic than anything a screenwriter or novelist could dream of. A handful of novelists has written fictional critiques of Trump, mostly with disappointing commercials results. Howard Jacobson published a satirical political allegory about a vain, vulgar prince that fell flat with critics and readers. So I'll leave it there. But if we're dealing with some insane situations, I'll put it that way, right now, we're dealing with someone who despises criticism on itself. We're dealing with someone who disrespects women or anybody who asks the hard questions. We're dealing with someone who has displayed, I always want to say delusions of grandeur. I think it's illusions of grandeur. Delusions. It's delusions, isn't it? Okay. Well, he's displaying that. 45. He's power hungry. He's attention hungry. I think that's why him and Kanye get along for now. I believe that it's going to be a blow up between the two of them, but that's just my personal belief. And I want to have a front seat with some popcorn when that happens, because it's going to be headlines. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to sit back and just watch the fireworks. Maybe. Because see, Kanye mental state, may be questionable also. And I'm not making fun of mental illness, because a lot of people walking around, and with the stress of this world and society and the pressures, sometimes you have to take a little something, And so I'm not trying to shame mental illness. However, if you're the president of the United States and you're meeting with another person that, it wouldn't hurt to take a pill or two. And if you're the president and, you may or may not be wrapped too tight, then that's that kind of scary. I just wish that 24 had come into the office with the people in mind. I just wish he had come into the office with not all that baggage he had about disrespecting women, long before the 3 reporters, long before anything that's happened currently. I just wish he had that respect for people, period, besides white supremacists, because they're good people, remember? They, it's some good people, white supremacists, some law-abiding people, I just wish he had come into the office with a desire when disaster hits our country, different states, that throw a roll of paper towels at people, mocking the situation, and that's what it looked like. It looked like mockery. I just wish that he had come into the country with the frame of mind, and this is a country that we have problems, but my term of office, And on my watch, I'm going to do everything I can to make it a country that we all could be proud of. But we did not get that, guys. We got an egotistical, attention hunting, black people bashing. And don't forget, when he went through Chicago, according to his ex-attorney who spilled the beans on 24, he went through Chicago and said only black people would live like this. And also, the attorney says, at a rally is looking kind of vanilla out there, and he had the response, "Well, black people too stupid to vote for me." See, I wish we had a president that wanted to help all the people in the United States and not a select few, that was concerned with all of our welfare, black, white, Mexican, whoever is here, Indian, who's ever here. He had a concern for all people, but he's not concerned about anybody but himself and his protected, privileged family that he has in the White House with him. Nepotism at its finest. So I will leave you with that. That book it shows a lot of what's happening now. But ask yourself. I said I was finished right now, but not quite. Ask yourself, what if it was diagnosed? What if he was diagnosed and it was kept from us? What if we're kept in the dark about his state of mind? What if? That would explain a lot of things, wouldn't it? Okay, now I'm finished. So everyone, have a good evening. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notification bell. And like I said, this might be a marathon. I'm kind of sick of talking about 45 right now, but some things just have to be said. And I am not the one who will know something about 45 and not spill the beans and give my opinion. And this is what most of it is, my opinion. But it's kind of ironic that this book about an American president being unhinged. Isn't that ironic? Irony. Isn't it ironic that that book would come out? Book had been re-released and kind of brought up to date. And mind you, this other book, the original, was 1965. And I said, if I didn't know better, I would believe in time travel. That author in 65, he was living during this administration, gathered that information, went back to 1965 and wrote a book. But anyway, thank you for joining in. I'll leave you there and have a good evening. Good night. Hi, everybody. I'm here today and I am doing the 40 question challenge. Sincerely yours, Nadia A. She tagged me. So I'm going to, do you like blue cheese? Yes. Coke or Pepsi? Coke. Are you in a relationship? No. Happily single. Whiskey, tequila, or vodka? I don't drink, but if I had to choose one, it would be Kettle One vodka. Hot dog or cheeseburger? Hot dog. Don't like cheese on burgers. Favorite food? An authentic enchilada. What do you drink in the morning? Coffee with cinnamon. Can you do 100 push-ups? Nope, but I'm working on it. Favorite season? Fall. Favorite hobby? Karaoke. Tattoos? No. Do you wear glasses? Yes, and also contact lenses. Phobias? I'm scared of bugs, nasty bugs like roaches and spiders, and I'm scared of heights and rodents. I think that's enough. Nicknames. Not anything now, but back in the day, my nickname was Babs, B-A-B-S. Favorite candy. Oh, I love turtles. Not from the grocery store turtles, but like seeds, candies, turtles. Do you believe in ghosts? No, I don't. Biggest downfall. Well, let me go back to that. Don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in spirits. Biggest downfall. Um, Want someone cross me, let me know that you're not down for me. Um, I counsel you out. You're not in my life. I don't trust you. Rain or snow? Rain. Too much snow in my past, so rain. Piercings? Yes. Your age? Years for the wasted relationship, so I'm actually about 35. uh, hey, don't judge. French fries or onion rings? French fries. Kids? Yes. Favorite color? I like neutral colors, burnt orange, fall colors. Do you sing? Yes and no. If I had a drink, I sing. If I don't have a drink, I don't sing. So I guess I'll, you know, don't sing. But I'm gonna say yes because I do. I used to. Uh, can you whistle? No. Where were you born? In Illinois. Any siblings? Yes, too many. A small village. Can you cook? Yes, I love to cook. Can you swim? Only in private pools, not in the ocean. It's too much junk out there that can bite your leg off, or those riptides ain't no joke. The current. Um, I only swim in private pools. I don't swim with everybody because everybody don't get up and go to the bathroom. They just pee in the water. TMI. Are you religious? I consider myself spiritual. Shower or bath? I'd rather take a bath, but I don't have a tub. I have two showers, so I guess I have to say shower. Do you like big city or nature? I like nature, but not too far from the city. Are you a good friend? I am a very good friend. I would say a better friend to other people than a lot of people are to me. Broken bones? No. How many TVs do you own? I own one, two. Do what is the worst pain ever? It would be child. It would be labor, childbirth. But I had kidney stones, so I would put them neck and neck. Do you like to dance? Yes, been dancing all my life. Do you like camping? Love camping. Love to fish. Are you weird? Sometimes I'm weird. Um, you have to be because there's more weird people in the world, so you have to be able to communicate with everybody. Um, like I said, sometimes I'm weird, like today. I'm weird today. Tag 6 friends. Empath, Crystal Vlogs, Sherry and Ricky Vlogs, Angie Vlogs, Una Pocaloca, and Kendra Giles. That may change if one of them contact me and said they already done it. So for now, that's my 6. And thank you guys. That was fun. Thank you, Nadia, for tagging me. And I will see you guys on the next live. live or challenge. Everybody have a good night. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Yes, you read the title of this podcast correctly. A woman at age 74 gave birth to twins. Now, the 74-year-old woman holds the record for the world's oldest mom after she reportedly gave birth to twins on Thursday following a round of in vitro fertilization using donor eggs. And that was going to be one of my concerns, when I first read the article till I got to that part. I said, okay, now I don't think she's still producing eggs. Where'd she get that egg from? But yes, it was a donated egg and probably somebody in her family, although the article did not say that. The woman identified as Aramati Magayame, and I'll refer to her as Maddie, and her husband, 80-year-old Raja Rao, and I'll refer to him as Raj. They're from a small Indian village in the eastern Godavari district. Hospital staff watched as proud dad Raj brings his newborn twins to a press conference in India. The couple welcomed two girls after undergoing one round of IVF in January. Her doctor claims ending their 60-year-old wait to be parents. The couple alleged feature surpasses that of 70-year-old Deljinder, who previously held the record for oldest recorded age at birth. The couple's daughters were born via C-section with doctors reporting no complications. The girls were born healthy and each weighs about 4.4 pounds. The doctor says that he doesn't expect, or she doesn't expect, I can't tell by the name, any complications. It was smooth and that the babies are healthy. The couple underwent one round of IVF in January, and there's another lady in Nebraska. She's 61 years old. She gave birth to her own granddaughter through IVF after acting as a surrogate for her son and her husband. Cicely Eldridge had acted as a surrogate for Matthew Eldridge and Elliot Doherty, using a donated egg from Doherty's sister and Eldridge's sperm. She gave birth to a healthy baby girl named Uma Louise Doherty Eldridge in March. At the time, her doctor said age was not a factor due to her outstanding health. She has the body of a 40-year-old and is actually in better shape than some 20-year-olds, said Carolyn Dohanty. I'm just messing up names. Excuse me, guys. And she is the family's reproductive doctor at that time. I'm pretty conservative about these sorts of things, but Cicely really turned out to be their best option. She's genetically blessed. Now, Cicely, that last part of the story, just kind of hooking them together because they were both elderly women having babies. She was a surrogate, so she's giving that baby up to her daughter, her granddaughter, up to her son and his husband. So she's going to be the grandmother figure. You know how it goes. Or if you don't, let me tell you. The grandmother picks up the baby, have fun with the child, takes it places, and then goes back and drop that baby off. You get the best of being a mother. So the grandmother is, to me, is having the best of both worlds. You're nurturing, your maternal instincts are still kicking in, and you're able to satisfy that urge to just, be a mom, but you get to take them home, guys. Now, with this lady, Maddie, in India, this is her first time being a parent. And she's what, 74, and her husband is 80. Now, to me, okay, let me just go over. They're able to fulfill a lifetime dream. They've never been parents before. And this is a dream come true for them. But guys, let me just be frank. That's some, I hate to say this, but I got to. That's some selfish stuff. Think about that baby. I'm not even talking about the physical aspects of running around with the baby, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not 74 or even near it. But even with my grandbaby, being at a younger age with my first granddaughter, I was able to jump in the bed and be silly with her and run around with them and enjoy them as a grandmother, but I was a young grandmother. But not even factoring that into this story, not even the physical part of it, because in a lot of countries, the elderly they're used to doing certain things. They're healthy, and but let's just face it, just the fact that they're that age, and children need their parents. Hopefully, this couple will be around for a long while. But to lose a parent, even at an older age, is rough, guys. Some of us never really processed that or grieved that. We haven't gotten through that. We just learned to live with it and know that it is what it is, so we carry on. But as a child, it's just some things that are harder to process. So hopefully, this child gets to be an adult. Now, I know a lot of children, just like the last story I brought to you, where LaShawn, died, and he was 41, and he had young boys. So, you could still die as a young parent, but see, this was intentional. LaShawn did not wait till he was 80 years old, him and his wife, to have a baby. So they did not intentionally set out to have their boys be parentless, although it worked out that the boys will be fatherless, although there can be father figures in their life, just like I'm sure this couple has designated someone to carry on in case of their death, but that child won't have you. So this is intentional, and there's so many things that I could say on the positive side and also on the negative side. And I just see some selfishness. There's some things. Now, this proves one aspect that it's never too late. So it's never too late to have a child if you got the money, if you were able to do that IVF. So evidently they had the money to go through those procedures. So in one aspect, it just, shows you it's never too late if you really want something. But just because, guys, and you guys don't knock me down too hard, because this is honestly the way I feel. If you intentionally have a child when you're in your 70s and 80s, you're thinking of what you want instead of what your child wants. At that age, you're going to be a grandparent or a great-grandparent. Think about the child. I hope that child has a well-rounded life. Not child, she had twins. I almost forgot about that. She had 2 girls. Even if you designate someone to take those the role as mom and dad, they won't have you. Your mom, your dad. And to intentionally do that, guys, I think it's selfish. I want what I want. I want to be a parent. So, I'm going to do it. Did you factor in what those babies would go through? Not having you. You're important to the babies. Oh gosh. It just that's, to me, that's the reason why being a grandmother, I love children. So I can see their point in one aspect. You love children, but do you love them enough to be fair? Because I think that's unfair to the children. I would love to adopt. But I think and I would want to adopt not a baby, but a child, maybe 3 or 4 starting, or maybe a little older. That's me. But what's fair to that child? Now, it may be different in India as far as what the child may go through, but I think bullying is probably across the globe. Okay, you pick your child home or up from school, kindergarten, first grade, second on up, when they have to be picked up. And the kids find out their mom and dad is 74 and 80. Okay, they're gonna bully that kid. And we can't tell kids to suck it up. We can't tell kids it is what it is. They don't know how to process. A lot of adults don't even know how to process it is what it is. Guys, can you understand where I'm coming from? Sometimes the desire for something does not mean you should do it. No, it's never too late. I could adopt. But no, I'm not, at the stage where I want to run around. Now, this is me, maybe those 74 and 80 years old, maybe they're still spry, maybe they're still running around. I don't know. But let's just think at 74 or 80, that running around is gone. It's only going to be for a short season, because nature takes its course. I've heard of people in different countries, even in the United States, living to the 100, 110. Okay, now, even if that 80-year-old father lives to 100, that's 20 more years. So the child would be an adult, 20-year-old. But still, guys, from being 80 and then in between to that child as an adult, they don't have kids, and never had kids, this older couple. So maybe they didn't factor in all that comes with it because they never had kids, and they probably had nieces or nephews and what have you, and they saw parenthood at a distance, but they didn't see, unless they lived in the family in one house, they didn't see everything that's involved in parenthood and what you have to go through, and sleepless nights. And even when, I'm telling you guys, even when they adults, you worry about them. You hope that you equip them to live a responsible life and to pick people to be around that aren't, thugs and and gangsters and stuff. You hope that you taught them right, that they would, and I've always told my kids, you're known for the company you keep, but you still worry about them who they're going to be around, and what if this and what if that. So I don't know, maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm just not seeing their, and I'm not seeing their whole picture. All I know is they're an elderly couple. They had twins, not one baby, guys. They had twin baby girls. Okay. It's so much I could say about this. To just sum it up, too late. But to just sum it up, I think it's selfish to fulfill your desire to have children and be a first time parent at 74 and 80. And I apologize if I have offended anyone, but that's my opinion. That is selfish. Now, the lady in, I think that was Nebraska, was it? Yeah. She was a surrogate. Like I said, she's going to give that baby to her son and, do the grandma thing. Best scenario. But this couple, maybe they have servants. I don't know, because they have to have money to go through the IVF. I would think they have somewhat money, because who's going to take, IVF and treatments and take food out of their household, whatever. So I think they might be a well-to-do couple. So maybe they have servants and nannies and this and that or what have you. But I'm telling you, you're still the baby's parents. If anything happens, they're going to miss you. Even though they might have nannies and uncles and aunts and everything, they still need you. And to intentionally put them in a path that most of their life they won't have you, I think is selfish. So anyway, guys, I don't mean to offend anyone. That's my opinion. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click that notification bell and have a good evening. Good night. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today, and I'm going to go right to my truth, and I hope that it helps someone. I hope that you get the healing and the closure. This is actually my closure. I felt like I never got justice, so this is why I'm doing this video. I was 15 years old, and I went to visit a relative in one of the colder states. And the relative went to get something. She must not have went far because she doesn't drive. In the meanwhile, her husband comes to the house where I was staying, and I had been, let me stop and just tell you, because of the colder climate, I was coming down with the cold or flu, so I really didn't feel quite well. Well, her husband came into the room where I was and fixed me a highball, straight alcohol. He tried to force me to drink it. He's pulling at me. I'm pushing him away. He's trying to make me drink it. And I'm thinking to myself, this can't be happening. What is he doing? Me and this relative was very, very close, and he knew that. And why, if he's that kind of person, but why would you pick that relative? Because you know how close we were, which lets you know he didn't care about her feelings, nor mine. Well, getting back to the story, the only thing that saved me from an apparent rape was we both heard, I knew he did because I did, we heard the key in the door and the door opened. He runs out of the room. I run out because I'm going to the restroom. I didn't want to face that relative because if she would have looked at my face, she would have known something was up. On running to the restroom, I begin to things begin to get black, and I'm grabbing for the door because I can't see. I'm still conscious, but I everything just went black for I would say about 3 4 seconds. When I woke up, I remember she's knocking on the door, and I'm getting up at that moment, and I'm imagining she heard the thump when I fell, and because she's knocking on the door, open the door. What's the matter? What's the matter? I opened the door, and I didn't say anything. I just looked at her, and I went back to the room and laid down. The assumption was, I really do think that she thought because I was coming down with a bad cold or flu that I just blacked out, that I just didn't feel, I felt that bad. But in essence, it was the trauma because I didn't feel good, but I had felt worse before. I never fainted before that incident or after that incident. So the traumatic experience caused me, I believe, to black out. Well, that evening we were supposed to go to another relative's house for dinner, and I told her I could go. And so she bundled me up, and I went. The hard part of it all was I was only 15, so although I could drive, I've never driven in the snow. Plus, I didn't have a driver's license. She could not drive, and the only person in the household that was old enough to drive was the perpetrator. Um, so you can imagine how uncomfortable that was. So I'm just not saying anything, and I'm just quiet throughout the dinner and trying to put up a front, and it, it 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 jived with me not feeling good. So no questions was asked. Well, what's the matter? They assumed I didn't feel good, and so that's the end of that contact. Um, but it changed that person's relationship with me, um, especially because I had to make excuses up for not wanting to go back as time went on. Also, it took me years. I want to add, it took me years to tell this person. I was a child then, and I just wasn't equipped to tell that person. I didn't want to hurt her. Um, Plus, a 15-year-old trying to. I was naive. I was sheltered, and I just didn't know how to say it. You have to understand the relationship this person had, me and that person had. She's 10 years older than me. So she was like a mother figure. She was in eighth grade. I was in kindergarten. Uh, and she would come down to the kindergarten class and help the teacher, and we would put on music and we would dance, and she's the one that taught me, about music, other than what was out, the R&B, the Temptations, the Miracles, Martha and the Vandellas. I'm telling my age now. However, she was the one who taught me about jazz and show tunes like The King and I, and different types of music besides that. So she was like a mother figure. I went on dates with her. She took me on dates with her, give me some pizza and something to drink, and I was out. So she didn't mind taking me out with her. So when I finally did tell her, because I had been married and I was going through divorce. In fact, I think my divorce was final when I told her. So that was many years afterwards. And I ended up telling her, and it changed our relationship. We tried to connect. Um, she would come out every summer with her kids, and he would be left in the cold state. And that worked fine for him, I suppose, because a relative that lived with them said that he had women at the house. So that worked out fine that she would be gone for the summer. Um, I think in the back of my mind, I would always say, why didn't you tell her sooner? Um, and that happened when I was an adult. I would think that, but I was a child. I just wanted to keep everyone. I just wanted to keep everyone happy, and I didn't want to hurt anyone. So I'm going to end the story right there. I'm not sure whether I want to do a part two of this because I get triggers, of course, talking about it, but I get triggers. Trigger was the Bill Cosby case. And not saying innocence or guilty, it was just a trigger because it was said that he tried to force or he slipped drinks into women's drinks. So, well, you know the story. And so that was a trigger for me because it's trying to incapacitate me and uh, uh, what if you're unconscious or close to it, you can't fight back. There is some other things to the story, so I think I will do a part two. I'm going to think about that because it's very hard to talk about. Although that was years ago, I'm. This is my justice, my way of getting justice because the perpetrator is dead now, and so this would be closure for me. So I'm gonna think about it, but stay tuned. I would like you to make comments, and tell me whether this has happened to you or relatives. Click the like button, and I would also like for you to subscribe and hit the bell so you can get further notifications. I'm sorry. As you can tell, this still haunts me, and so this is going to be closure. I finally let my truth out. So until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day and God bless. Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining me. I wanted to take a break. I was doing some housework. I just finished fixing my breakfast. Um, I fixed me some grits and toast and eggs. Sometimes I make fried potatoes, and in my family, we would call it my siblings, we would call fried potatoes and Elma potatoes. When we were young, my mom didn't start cooking fried potatoes until we took a vacation. My aunt lived in Flint, Michigan. Shout out to all your people in Flint, Michigan. Well, anyway, we would go there, and for breakfast, she would, we would have a feast. Fried potatoes, which, like I said, that was the first time I had fried potatoes with onions and bell peppers. Oop, and she would fry chicken, and she would make pork chops and grits, and it was like something off a movie, like what's that movie's name? Oh, I forget. But anyway, it was um, it was just a feast. So I just wanted to take a break because
yesterday on TV, I decided to stay home yesterday, and yesterday was on TV, some scary movies on, and I don't do scary movies on, so I just got back on YouTube and start browsing. But the most scariest movie well, it's two movies that's scary for me. Um, Exorcist, the original with Linda Blair, with her head turning around and she's spitting out crap. Look like juice from the greens, that pot liquor, look like pot liquor, thick pot liquor. And um, Night of the Living Dead. I don't do that. I don't do that. I remember when Exorcist came out, and I had, we had come home from the movies, me and my husband, and we lived in an apartment, and the downstairs, of course, was the kitchen and the living and dining room. Upstairs was the bathroom and the two bedrooms. So we came home from the movie, and I'm going upstairs, and my husband shouted out, "Oh, that little girl up in the bed, don't pay her no mind. Just watch out for her. She a little tricky sometimes." Oh, I ran down them stairs. I don't play that. I don't play no scary movies, and don't tease me about it. I don't do that. And then Night of the Living Dead, where people are, she's visiting some relative at their gravesite or whatever, her and her brother, I guess, and this man is walking towards her, and her brother start teasing her. He gonna get you. He gonna get you. And it was, the beginning of the movie. I don't play that either. Don't joke around with me, because you know what? Some movies are Hollywood, and some movies are too much paranormal. It's like, how we know that stuff really can't happen? I know that the story in the Bible talks about Lazarus, and Jesus had to. And I know some of y'all don't believe in Jesus, but that's on you. That's on you. And I'm not trying to convert anybody, but I believe in Jesus. Anyways, Jesus had to call Lazarus' name a certain way. I didn't refresh. It's been a while since I read the story, but to my remembrance, he had to do a certain way, because every Lazarus around would have got up. Now, so it's like, okay, that's not too far fetched, because it's happened. The little, Jesus did rose, the little girl rose from Jesus' command. But who knows what's going to happen in the future? Read your Bible, Like my dear said, read your Bible. It's good for you. Anyway, I don't do scary movies, like I say, especially paranormal. The last scary movie that I saw, I think was, I don't know if it was Poltergeist, or I don't remember. Now, Hollywood scary movies that like the Wolfman. Okay, if it's late at night and it's raining, thunder and lightning, I'm not watching that either. I mean, usually I'm not a scary person, but the unknown things, those tricky kind of things, I don't play around with that. I don't open no doors for that. But for American Werewolf in London, I'll watch that during the day, maybe. Depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Maybe I'll watch that. But I can watch, what's that? I See Dead People? What was that? I See Dead People. Y'all know the movie. Leave it in my comment. Remind me. But anyway, I can kind of watch that sometimes. And that was a tricky movie from the way it began. You're thinking one thing, and at the end, what you were thinking is totally opposite. And I can't believe no one has seen this movie. So, but I'm not going to tell it, because maybe some of you guys that haven't seen it will go watch it if I can, think of the the title of it, with Bruce Willis. Anyway, watching some movies, and I know some of you guys going to disagree, but it opens the door for, I say it, demonic activity. It opens that door. And so then you start hearing stuff in your house and thinking you seeing stuff, and I'm not about that. You know what? I can't prove it to nobody. All I know is I stay away from those paranormal movies, those movies talking about the living dead and the dying dead and talking with the dead and walking with the dead. I don't do that stuff. There's a series on a lot of you guys are fans and the popularity of it, shows me that the series have a lot of fans, but I do not I'm not doing that. That is some strange, repugnant crap. I don't watch that. I don't do that. I remember at my job, I don't work there anymore, but it was this girl, and she told me of an experience. And I won't tell you of the experience because it's, maybe at a later date I will, but not right now, because I'm talking about it, so I don't want to bring up those feelings. But she told me of this story, and I'm telling you, after she told me about this story, I gave her my number because she was really shook up. It was a dream that she had, and what had happened after the dream, she was awoken up. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you that right now, but if you comment, I'll make that a story to bring on because it's kind of spooky. Let me just tell you this. I gave her my number for her to call me if that happened again, if she wanted to talk, like no matter what time it was. And I prayed with her. Yes, I pray. I talk to God every day. Yes, I pray. And I know I might surprise some of you guys, but yeah, I pray. But anyway, I prayed with her. And let me just tell you, without going into detail, I did not sleep good that night at all. And to top it off, California had like a 3-point something earthquake. And I got dressed and just went on to work and sat in the parking lot, And then when I got home, I said, you know what? I am not going to let this happen to me. I've never been afraid to live by myself. I've never, been afraid to be in a house if it's thundering and lightning and all that, unless I've seen a scary movie, which I stopped doing. But what I did is this. I went through my house and blessed it again. I touched every doorpost, every wall, every window. And some of you guys gonna laugh, but yes, I opened the door and said, anything that is not of God, you got to go. You got to get out of here. And in the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, I said, I'm telling you, right then and there, that spirit of fear lifted. Now, some of you guys are going to laugh. And you can poke fun of me because I believe what I believe, and I will not dispute anything that you believe. But I'm talking about my beliefs right now. But I'm telling you, after I did that, that spirit of fear left me. It was like, talking about waiting to exhale, I did a long sigh. And I just, that night, and I was tired anyway because I didn't get much sleep. But that night, I slept so good. I slept like a baby. So, in essence, I don't watch scary movies. That's the moral of the story. I do not watch scary movies. So, this was just a short video, taking a little break from housework. You see, I got my, my work clothes. Well, you don't know that, but I know that. My housework shirt on and tied up my head. Um, I'm not sure what I'm going to do tonight, but I'll try to do something that's fun so I can take some footage and bring it back to you guys. If you have any suggestions, let me know. And also let me know what's your favorite scary movie, or if you do scary movies or not, like I don't. But let me know. And what I want you to do, if you have not subscribed, subscribe, hit the notification bell, give me a like, and also comment. And share the video, any of my videos. Share them with people that you think will benefit the videos, especially my series Secrets and Lies Part 1 and 2. And if anybody likes karaoke, share my karaoke. I have videos. I have 2 karaoke videos, Part 1 and 2 so far. And tell me if you which videos you like, and I will try to make more of those. So I'm going to get back to my housework, and you guys be careful today and have a good weekend. Out where I am in California, it's going to be in the 90s. We have been having triple digits for a while, so it kind of drains you of your energy. So I try to go places and use their AC instead of mine. But anyway, I will say goodbye for now and have a very pleasant day. God bless. Bye.
He had dreads. He had this beard thing that like cannot. You could braid it. Hoodies. He had the thick pants, not the fitted jeans. It was just a lot going on, and it wasn't necessarily the type of guy that I would have brought home to my parents. But he was the first guy that I brought home to my parents in the form of a boyfriend.
Yeah, and that was kind of awkward.